All right, I got the passenger side done, but I couldn't really find anywhere online or on YouTube that it showed how to get the CJ brakes that were the upgrade option off the calipers and that sort of thing. So Schnebs and everybody's got the 2 bolts on the back here. Well, these don't have bolts. What they have is they have this little tension pin right here that does the trick. And this has been quite a project. I'm doing my Rusty's Off-Road 2.5-inch lift, new rotors while I'm down here, bearings, everything all the way around. But there's a couple of things that I just wanted to shout out to the world because I couldn't find it. So here's thing number 1. When you go to remove the brake caliper, there's a little Allen head right here, and this kind of locks it in your little drift, or your, you don't really know what it's called, but it has a spring on it, and so it keeps the caliper housing tight. And so what you do is you take a punch, drift, whatever you want to call it, and you just take it all the way off. And there it is, it's gone. And this is what it looks like right here. So you have this little tensionometer. And so you can see that the slide is out. But all it is a little little slide here. And this spring on the back side obviously keeps pressure on it. And then you put that little Allen head bolt in to kind of lock it in place. But that was a good few minutes of looking around, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the caliper off, and we'll go from there, and we'll get it rolling. So there's that. And remember, you don't ever want to let these hang. You just kind of nestle them back there in the back. But yeah, I guess there was a couple of models with a upgraded action. I'm not really sure all the information on it, but I found this guy online, Bill's Jeep, and he had a blog post with all this info on the drift and the pin and that kind of stuff. So big helpful move. All right, I'm gonna back these 2 nuts off, 2 washers, take the actual rotor off, separate the rotor from the hub, clean it up a little bit, and then we'll put it back together. All right, so a couple of things here. There's this, I think it's like a 40 millimeter, 1/2-inch drive socket that you got to get these nuts off. And you can see right here at the top, somebody used a drift and pulled it out, and that's so your nut won't back out. So the first thing we have to do, obviously, is punch that back in, and then get it to where it's good to go. All right. That nut will not come off with this. All right, that should have freed it up. Let's see if I can get it off. Yep, feels like it. You can just kind of hand. They're not torqued that tight. Obviously, this hub's supposed to roll. And the way that I like to do it is, again, outside in. So what I do is I just kind of lay down the first piece that came out, put that on. will need some little bents to get these washers out. Okay, you can see that drift there. Somebody put that on. I always, again, just flip them over and take the other one off. It's a little loose. And another nut. Set that one down. And we'll grab this last one here. Hello. Okay, there's the last washer. That was that way. And now the hub will come right off. And when you do that, this is the part that is really, really difficult to separate. So my spindle here looks good. Nothing crazy ward. There's that little notch in the actual spindle threads to put your washer on, and then your dust cover. All right, so these are the new lugs. You see they have this little lock that is kind of chamfered right here that goes into the actual new rotor, and then it has these barbs on the actual nut or bolt itself, and then your wheel obviously bolts onto that. But in order to get it out, if you weren't going to replace them, I chose to replace mine because they were, you know, $3 and in a 10-pack of Dorman, really, really inexpensive. And I figured, since I'm going through it and I got to get the hub off anyway, why not do it? But you can use another lug on top and just thread it down just once or twice, and that'll separate the hub from the rotor. That's definitely shot there. But there's the hub. There it is right there. So I'll clean this up, re-grease it, repack it, and this will go on here, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, if you're like me and you don't have a press, you have to be smart about how you do this. Again, this hub is what I have here. It's the outside. Just kind of wiped off some of the scum and rust. Hit it with a little WD. Try to get it loosened up a little bit at least. But if you don't have a press, like me, then you need to come up with an innovative way to do it. And so this is what I did on my passenger side. I put the hub obviously on the new rotor. Definitely when you're handling your rotors and you get, you know, grease on it, and make sure you hit them with brake cleaner before you put them back together. But you kind of line them up like this. And so this is what you got here. You can kind of drop one in, drop one in, drop one in, drop one in, and then drop one in. And anyway, what I like to do is hit them, keeping the pressure down on the hub, because you don't want to, you definitely want something solid to hit on. But you can kind of take a little socket extender, you know, but you can give it a few whacks here first with your hammer. All right, so you got a little bit of a reveal there. You can barely see.